So I'm here at the editing desk here, going through what I got. I'm gonna warn you, this video is kind of a mess. It's kind of all over the place. It's a case of where you think something's just gonna work and it just don't, and it just fights you the whole entire way. So this will be a part one, and I don't know when we'll get back to this one. I'm not entirely sure. Something with the drive is wrong, but we'll let you watch here and get to see some 5 1/4 inch disc action, some high density disc action, and that's about it. There's just some notes from the top here. As you can probably tell, this was recorded a couple weeks ago, right before VCF. I make a reference to it in the video there. I wasn't sure when this was going to be published or put up or put together. Didn't really think of or consider that when I was making it, but this is footage taken over the last couple weeks as I've had time to tinker and work on this. So enjoy. Hello, you join me for an unboxing video here. What will it be today? Well, let's find out together. Got my handy box cutter here. It just about jammed into my finger just now. Goodness. Gonna be at VCF Midwest this weekend. If you're in the area, stop on out. This is a great show. I'm gonna try this. Lots of stuff. Plenty of things to see. There's no other place that I've ever seen quite like it. I gotta admit, when I brought this package upstairs, I got all dirty because it was covered in dust. He must have gone down every gravel road in the county before it got to my house. This is highly entertaining, I'm sure. Oh wow, cross section of tape there. Look at that. Oh, foam. At least it's not packing peanuts. Yeah, it looks like it survived. That's some nice foam. I have to hang on to that. So what have we got here? Oh wow, he's got the insert in there and everything. Would have helped if they'd put that in there. See, you're supposed to put this card in there. Oh, I think, yep, just like that. And then close the heads on it. So A for effort on that one. But what we got here, this isn't your typical IBM 4689. This is a 2. And notice there is no asterisk on the front of this drive. This should be a 1.2 megabyte 5 1/4 inch disk drive. And we're going to plug her in and find out if she survived or if worked. And if worked. Going to plug her in and find out if it survived the trip. And see how our Model 57 likes it. This should work, if I understood correctly. To excuse the shadows, the lighting isn't the greatest in this room. Here we have another 4689. As you can see, this one has the asterisk, as this is a 360K floppy drive. This has enabled me to make this system, this IBM PS2, be able to basically write any floppy I wanted, except 1.2 megabyte. This is the 57SX, been a great system. The red power switch that everyone is always after, And I'll show you on the bottom here that it is just a 4689. So we're going to plug the other one in, see how it fared. This one worked just out of the box. I got this from another, I don't remember if it was eBay or Facebook. Someone had a whole bunch of them. And it just worked. I wrote lots of discs with it, but I've been wanting to be able to easily write 1.2 megabyte discs, hence the number 2 revision there over there. So we're going to get this hooked up. We'll fire the system up, and we will see how it goes and do a little show and tell. I'll tell you this, I don't know where this thing was stored, but I'm certainly not going to plug that connector in looking like that. That must have been down the dirt or something. It is a little dirty, this unit. Yeah, look at that. That's just disgusting. I'll work on getting this cleaned up, and then we'll get this plugged in and fired up. Well, that's looking much better. Let's see if, we'll get it plugged in here, and we'll see if it passes their smoke test. Okay, power has been applied. We should get a little blink there. I didn't see anything. Let's fire this up. Oh, my Discord is going bonkers here. Oh, be quiet. There we go. Okay, we're getting a RAM count. That's a good sign. This is a IBM 57SX. 16 megabytes of RAM. It does have a SLC2 486 processor installed. It's not quite as fast as like a 486-33, but it does pretty well. Got an MCIDE card installed, got an Ethernet card installed, we got a sound card installed. The driver and stuff for the floppy is already loaded because we were using the one before, and that should all work. Beep there. Hey, look at that. I didn't hear it seek though. The drive may need some work, I don't know, but it did install the driver. Drive J. I wanted to make sure my Ethernet was plugged in because Windows for Workgroups really doesn't like it when the cable's not plugged in. It kind of freaks out. Look at this, it takes a little while. Got 80 megabyte SCSI. Is it 80 mega? It's either 80 or 120. I don't remember, but it's the bigger of the SCSI drives that was been originally included in this system. It's got a 1 gigabyte SCSI that someone added, and then we got the MCIDE, so we got pretty much unlimited amounts of storage. I guess the thing to do would be to get a yeah, there it is. Get a 1.2 megabyte disk, or even a 360 disk, and format it and see what it does. Got a disk in the drive. I believe this is the command to format a 360 disk. I don't know what it'll do if I just do this. The light is on. Not ready. I think we may have some work on our hands here. Let's see what WinImage has to say. What's that in? Is that in here? Yeah. Drive J. I want that. Well, looks like we're going to be pulling her apart here, so as usual, something that was going to be, a quick, easy video. Just turn it into a show, turn it into content. That's what we want. So we'll pull this apart here and see what we find inside. If hopefully the indication of the plug is just needs a little lube, or it just needs, I don't know. We'll have to see when we pull it apart. So, and just to make it interesting, yeah, let me get my shadows over that there. IBM had to put some security Torx screws in here. All the rest of the screws are Phillips heads. So I'll have to go find my Torx set down in the garage. Nice going, IBM. Well, unfortunately, I don't have my Torx bits here. They're at my dad's house. I'll have to go over there in the morning. It's getting kind of late now. I'll have to go over there in the morning and go grab them, and we'll get this drive apart and see what we got going on inside. Hopefully nothing, just a good cleaning won't resolve. So, looks like it had been sitting somewhere for a while, so we'll get to the bottom of it. Well, things have really escalated here since the last time we looked at this. I have determined this power supply is not putting out what it's supposed to. On the 12 volt rail, it's only putting out about 6 volts. And on the 5 volt rail, we might be getting 3.5. It's just not enough. It's got these little rivets here. We're going to have to drill them out and open that up. So for now, what I've done is I've rigged up this very big, but I mean, it's the only one I had that had a switch on that was quickly handy, power supply. And what we're going to do, yes, excuse the state of my desk. I apologize. This drive tried to work. I tried to format a disk with it, but it was getting some general failures and errors. But we got some alcohol here, and we're going to give them heads a clean and see if we can get that working, and then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with this. This video might take some time to put together, just bits and pieces over time as we get parts. But yeah, that's where we're at. And kind of like I expected, as clean, crispy clean as this drive is, wasn't really anything on here. So if I had to guess, it could be some sort of mechanical problem. I mean, the head assembly does move. Come on now. Make a fool out of me. And that's pretty free. This is like the 360K drive where It does load and unload the heads every time it seeks a disc. Not something you usually see but in like 8-inch drives, but the 360K version I have of this does the same thing. So we'll hook it up. We'll try it again. I know this disc is good. I formatted it in the IBM and the 5150. And it formatted fine without errors. It's just a 360K disc, which I know 1.2 meg, but still it should be able to format. Should be able to format a disc. 360K, 1.2 meg, whatever. So we'll hook it back up here with our Frankenstein supply and see what it does. So we got the 57SX starting up here. It's just finishing its RAM count. Hear the second SCSI hard drive spinning up in there. It really is a sweet machine. I'll have to do a demo on it when we get this going. MCIDE. There's. Well, I heard it seek. That's the first time I've ever heard it seek when it loaded the driver, so that is a good sign, I would think. Just loading our network drivers or sound drivers. And here we are at the prompt. As our friend Bill O'Reilly says, we'll do it live. Take a disc. We'll go in here. That's a good sign. We will do format. Drive letter I with a /F:360 for double density disk. Otherwise it'll try and format as a 1.2 meg disk, and a /U for an unconditional format. That way it doesn't try and save any. There's nothing to save on there, so maybe we'll just let's see what it does. Disk is in the drive. Heard it click. And this is kind of what it wanted to do before. It kept hitting the head there, and it says track 0 bad. Let's try it again. And you can see here, hit yes on this. So we still have some problems here. And it keeps coming back to the same error. It says, keeps saying track 0 bad. Which we know that's a good disk. I could try another drive. I think there's just something not quite kosher. I don't know if something happened to this drive when it was undervolted. If that's even possible. I apologize for that, power supply fan. It's got to be sounding pretty loud. We'll try one more time. It's only loading that power supply now. That power supply should have plenty of juice to run this floppy drive. I don't know if we got something dragging it down, or I may do some voltage checks on here just to make sure everything's right, but yeah, I don't think we're going to get anywhere. So back to the drawing board. I know what you're all probably screaming at home. Try a high density diskette. Well, we're gonna crack one of these open here, and we're gonna try it live. Stand by. Well, they weren't kidding. I guess the 1.2 meg ones don't have that ring in the middle that kind of reinforces it. I'll be honest, when I bought these, I swore it said IBM. I was so excited, blue box, you know, and the lettering. Didn't get home and I saw it was IBS. Let's try it here. Got our format command up. Just an unconditional. I'm not going to do anything fancy. Yeah. Something is not happy. Not happy at all. And just for giggles, just to make sure didn't happen to grab another bad disc, we're going to fire up the AT here and see what it has to say. It'll be the first time I ever tried to do a 1.2 meg disc in this one. Hell, we may even fire this one up and see what it does. See if this thing behaves today. Or if it's going to give us a bunch of RAM errors. Which, I mean, I'm not really worried about for just trying to format a disk. Yeah, it gave us a bunch of memory errors, of course. I believe that drive is more or less the same drive that we're working with over here. But let's do our... This is drive A on this machine. As you can see, it takes right off. Let's see if we get any bad sectors. And as I suspected, it formatted just fine without any errors. So, very unhappy drive on the IBM, the other IBM over there. Warrants further study. May call this part 1. I don't know. Do some more diagnosing and checking. We'll see where we end up here. So to prove it over here, we got it in our 1.2 meg drive there in the bottom right. And the command is CC format. It's a compati card version of format. 1.2 megabytes. Insert new diskette for drive G. Here we go. Yep. Takes right off. Works just fine. So wild having a 1.2 megabyte and a 144 megabyte drive on a original PC like this. It's really cool, honestly. I know we're getting off topic here while I'm waiting for that to format, but here's something you just don't get on an LCD screen. Oh, it's so cool, and it just appears there, and you can see it just kind of just slowly go to the top. Format's complete over here. It looks like we got all of our usable space on here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong. That drive is unhappy. I'd almost like to put it in another system and see how it behaves. If it behaves the same, or just to rule out anything going on over there. I know the 360 version of it works fine. And let's see if the IBM is going to boot happily, or if it's going to beep its heart out at me. Love the sound of these old hard drives, and so fortunate to have working systems with working hardware. I know it's getting less and less every day, but cherish it while we got it. I forgot how slow this is too, how long this takes to count. Yeah, it's not happy.